This is so good. This is probably the best cocktail I've actually made. This is beautiful! Hey friends, I hope you guys are doing amazing. In case you're new here, welcome to the family and thank you so much for joining us. So as you guys can tell from the title of the video, this is going to be a reaction video. I feel like I haven't done this type of videos in such a long time. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean?
This video is actually inspired by a tweet I saw on Twitter, obviously, and the tweet was asking, what is the most pettiest reason you have refused to date someone? And when I read those responses, child,
niggas is wildin'!
It was mad. I was reading those things and I was like, what? Like, people are actually, doing the most. So this video is actually in collaboration with Beefeater, so that's why I decided to do a reaction video. The cocktail that I'm currently drinking is a pineapple freeze cocktail. I'm going to probably show you guys how to make this cocktail on my Insta stories. There's a full highlight on all Beefeater content that I've been shooting, so be sure to check it out. And this cocktail, when I tell you this cocktail slaps.
That is amazing. Wow. Like, oh my God. The flavor, oh my God, it's so real. Like,
Wow. Anyways, let's get into this video. I feel like why it's also so timely is because of the whole buzz around Love Island. I don't know if you guys watch Love Island, but one thing about me, I think almost every other time on my stories I'm sharing a tweet or something that I saw on Love Island. And so basically, if you're not aware, it's a dating reality show where they bring in hot single people, put them together in a villa, especially not for the UK, it's in a villa in Spain. And then, yeah, you're supposed to couple up with someone, get to know them, and then, the best couple, according to the public, win 50,000 sterling pounds. Once you watch Love Island, this is something that almost everybody going into the villa says, this is actually quite my type. And people say X and Z is my type, but then it also begs the question, are your dating preferences excuses? Like, do they come from a place of bias? I remember I went on my Instagram and I asked you guys, what is the most pettiest reason y'all have refused to date someone, and y'all sent me responses. I have so many. Of course, there are those that were similar. This conversation also inspired by some article I was reading, and they were saying how when it comes to dating especially, everybody has their own preferences, and I think sometimes preferences in dating can be complicated. It's basically about who you find attractive, what you find attractive, and sometimes even why. Sometimes we don't know why we feel so strong about those preferences that we have. We feel or we think that maybe it's just a preference. It could be benign, but then at the same time, some of these preferences I see and I'm like, girl, want to accept people and tell them that it's okay to like what you like and not like what you don't like. But I think it sometimes gets murkier when now we talk about preferences which exclude or exploit or fetishize marginalized people. I think when it comes to stuff to do with race, I don't think that's a question. There are people who are just blatantly racist and they believe. I've even seen shows especially do this. Like, even when you think of Love Island, people have been tweeting, do they actually just hate black women? Because it's like they put black women there because of, quote unquote diversity, but then they never put people who are interested in these black women. So it's like these black women have to do so much, have to work 10 times harder to prove that they are worthy of love, or another preference that I've seen is when it comes to body preferences. And I think this is especially when it comes to people who are like, bigger, chubbier and stuff like that. And I think the writer of this article was saying how that people have the assumption that fat bodies are not good bodies, and most of the times they're completely overlooked. And she says how many singles have that privilege of like a slim and full able body, assume that maybe people with bigger bodies don't necessarily take care of themselves. And sometimes you may not have an idea of how many hours such people are actually putting into their work. I mean, putting into their body. So I think some people forget that it's more of like their appearance, and then, you know, so you'd find someone who's probably like a slim individual who's like, they could never date a bigger or chubbier person because probably don't take care of themselves, they're not healthy, blah blah blah. But then for them, maybe because of their metabolism and stuff, they don't even take care of their body. So it's like contradictory. You get what I mean? The writer of this article also goes to talk about how, think about that friend who's always drawn into abusive relationships. You might not know how to end the cycle because you're not even doing anything wrong, but you're just going like with your gut and like your basic preferences of attraction, which probably make you to get attracted to a particular type of person, and you never know how to break the cycle. And I remember reading that and I was like, that is so mind-blowing, because you could be so hell-bent on dating this type of people, and then there's someone who are always breaking your heart. Friends, you have to check, you know. So yeah, I think we should generally consider maybe outgrowing our preferences and stuff like that. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Now let's talk about being petty. Let's talk about being petty, friends, because so I'm going to be going through some of your, you know, the most pettiest reasons that you all refuse to date someone. So of course there are the obvious ones that I found, like height. I personally you know, I remember friends being really talked to like shit and being treated like, wait, just because this guy was tall and attractive. And I've done that story time before. The story time was about it's titled The Disrespect Was Too Real. I'm not gonna lie, man was looking beautiful. He was stunning, absolutely stunning, so beautiful to look at. But then, so you see what the writer was saying, that sometimes you could be so limited in this own, he has to be this, he has to be that, until we forget so much more. So when people talk about height, I was like, I mean, I get that. You know, someone says I'm tall, so anybody below my height is an absolute no. And I get that, being one of them, because I don't know, I really cannot pinpoint the exact reason why I like tall people. I just do. And I don't know if that is something I will ever like, you know. I just like tall people. Also because I want to, like, one thing about me, I love wearing heels. Of late, I've actually been really wearing heels. Rather, I be dying, but I'm wearing those heels. And I want someone who is taller, you know. So whether, and I also sometimes want to feel, I don't know, like the little spoon all the time. So yeah, I get you, I get you. Somebody said he used to talk too loudly, most times felt like he was shouting at me, and I actually died at this because I was wondering, can you imagine going to, like, I think there's generally being loud, and then there's just being obnoxiously loud. Like, why are you shouting? I'm here. Why are you shouting? You know, someone said his hair wasn't soft enough for me, and girl, that's just petty. I think the petty award goes to, I don't know, do people actually look at such things like hair when you're thinking about dating? I don't think that's something I've ever really looked at, you know. Someone said they talked too slow. I don't know, maybe that's just them. You see, sometimes when you think about these petty things, it's things that you actually cannot change about a person, but at some point you actually can't help it. So I don't know about that. There were also a lot of them about people who spell things wrong, like when people say instead of or there instead of there, you know what I mean? So a lot of people actually get really vexed about it. But I think something like that, would you just be blatantly, you like this person, you meet them, and then they go text you and you say all these things and you say, oh, you say nowhere, you say, that's not for me, child. So yeah, I found that very interesting. Someone said she stalked his Instagram and found that he was making videos of dry and really cringy jokes. You know, there's one thing for someone to be funny and then to think that they are funny. I actually I'm trying to think of the dry and cringy jokes. Is it like that babe on TikTok who she usually, I'm gonna look for one of her videos and insert it maybe next, but she has the most cringiest and dry jokes, but fun enough, I find them funny.
Why'd you knock on the fridge?
Because there could be a salad dressing.
And then someone said he hates cooking, how will I eat? I mean, I don't think for me that would be like a big deal, really. You know, someone said the curtains in his house were just not it. It reminds me of this season in Real Housewives, when Kenya Moore was looking for a house at the time, and so she was living at some funny place, and Nene Leaks, that's where the video for "Oh that ghetto," you know, and Nene Leaks was like, "Oh sweetie, get in the car, let's go find you a home."
Girl, please put your shoes on. Let's go find you a home, honey. Ooh.
So yeah, like she said the curtains, she entered the house and said, "Right, this is not for me," do you know what I mean? Sis said he insisted to make out in public places all the damn time, and it was annoying, and I absolutely get that. I think one of the most important things if you're to start dating, I think you need to understand people's relationship, quote unquote, with PDA. One thing about me, I do not like PDA. Please don't hold my hand. I just feel like it's a lot. So I can't imagine someone is trying to smooch you all the day, especially Pele Awatu. So yeah. Sis said his shoe game was trash. I didn't even get to the part where he was short. And this, I saw actually a lot of this, of people saying how this person dressed and stuff. I think, but I want to ask like how bad it was, you know, like were you going like on a nice date and man shows up in, you know, flip-flops or those slides that they're always wearing, I think. But then again, at the same time, is it because he's ignorant, or it's just that he doesn't have like the proper shoes and stuff? But she said, nah. Someone said he pronounced my name Vibaya okay, so she continues to say how he pronounced her name wrong and stuff, which made me think that is so annoying. I can't imagine being with someone friends and they keep calling you the wrong name. Like, is it crack? Is it really that hard to pronounce in fact, the name? And sometimes people usually think it's not really much of a big deal, but it actually is. People's names and identity mean so much to someone, so get your pronunciation correct, period. There were so many of no hairline, no beard, and oh my god, I just recall the number of times people are like, you know, as your beard connect, you know, when people ask you what you bring to the table and stuff. I don't know if I've really been big on people's hairlines and beards. I don't think for me personally it's ever been an issue. Someone said he looked like my lecturer who gave me hell on earth while I was in uni, girl. She said, "Kept the cameras." Dead ass, we're not gonna do this. I can't imagine. No, that's trauma. That's trauma. If you couldn't even bear the sight, now imagine a everyday resemblance. Or an everyday reminder. We can't. Someone said he had a 3x6 bed. Why? I don't know why I'm laughing, but I don't know, I just found it hilarious. You walked into the room and you said, "This is not for me, ciao." He said, anyway, yeah, the 3x6 bed killed me. Now, there were those that I found that were like, this is now non-negotiable. Some people they were talking about some characteristics, like you found this person too possessive. That's not a petty reason, please. You had every reason to be like, this is not for me. I can't imagine being with someone who's always trying to, you know, do the most. So now you aren't too petty about that. Also, when it comes to matters of hygiene, those long ass nails. When somebody has that, when you have a pinky longer than someone's acrylic, sir,
Security!
there's a problem. Electric chair. You got to go, because why do you have such an obnoxiously long nail? We can't. I actually can't. I no. So matters of hygiene, people who said like they generally were not clean, or they had like dirty finger. It's 2021. It's a panoramic.
It's a pandemic.
You could be carrying the virus inside those fingers. So please, just keep your fingers nice, clean, and short. We already have so much to deal with. Someone also said he picked his nose a lot, and especially at dinner. Now you're just nasty. That's just nasty. I mean, You're there. Oh, I can't even think about it.
Help you nasty and you need Jesus.
No, now
Someone also said that he used to snore like a posho meal. Okay, I don't know. Maybe you could, but when it comes to things like snoring, it actually depends on like people's sleeping positions. You know, sometimes for people, I think, is it when you sleep on your chest or you sleep on your back, you're more prone to snoring. I don't know, it's one of the two. But yeah, someone said they couldn't handle his alcohol. That's another one, non-negotiable. If you know, I don't know, it's one thing to, especially like in public, if you're like with a intimate group of friends and someone is, you know, zimeshika kabisa, fine, but si mbele ya watu. One thing about me, I do not like embarrassment. I do not like attention that will embarrass me. So if you can't handle your alcohol, and then it also is like how frequent are you drinking and stuff like that. And I think it's also because in this generation, people usually drink as if they're gonna die, like as if they're trying to take themselves out, you know. So I would be worried. I would most definitely be worried if we go on a date and all of a sudden you're drunk. Drunk silly, you know. Someone said Mantem didn't get me flowers for Valentine's, but that makes me think, was he really your man? You know, like, were you together? Are you sure he was yours? You know?
No. Men will embarrass you. They will shame you. They will drag you. Dragons. All of them.
Because I feel like a lot of the times babes have so many expectations, and kumbe, you're on your own, sweetie. You're the only player. The thing also, someone also came to say when it comes to matters, cracked lips. That one I understand. No, that one I totally understand. Cracked lips is a no for me, sweetie. You can get Aramis, you can get Vaseline, the small Nivea lip balms. You can get, what is that? Is it called Carmex? They also took a small balm, sweetie. Please. You know, someone said they lived in Nairobi, but outskirts of Nairobi, traveling was not my portion. No, that is very valid, because let me tell you, if you're dating someone and they live so bloody far, it's already a hassle to try and maybe meet up and do stuff. Say for example, if you're living in Juja and someone is living in Athi River, that's a long distance. That's a trip. So no, I totally understand that. Someone said if he wears anything below a size 9 kiatu, just use your small feet to walk away, please. Oh, okay, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the people that I've interacted with for guys, they have like, what's that average guys foot size? Is it like a size, I think maybe from 8 going up. But if like someone was wearing a size 5, no offense, but I'll be like, yeah. Someone said he used to call my passion for dance a thingy, and I drew the line. No, I totally understand it, because when it comes to people's passions, that's something that's personal. Again, that's something that, it's a passion, it's something that you love and enjoy doing. So I would assume you probably want a partner who is supportive of that. But if he's slowly, like, just, you know, dismissively calling it a thingy, that's not gonna work for me. It's not. I can't imagine me telling someone I absolutely love makeup and clothes, and then someone is just dismissively saying I'm too rainbow. We can't. Someone said that I had dated the whole village. I wasn't about to add another nigga there. Hold on a minute, player. Okay, I get that. Sis, live your life. Someone said they liked listening to Diamond when they were alone, and this took me back to that Diamond interview when he was saying, Sidri, I have not stood around for one of my garage. I remember watching that interview like, it's okay. If the English whatever is okay.
I'ma go get her. Whatever I want, I go get it.
Someone said that he was too popular, and I think it makes me question, are people usually like actually afraid of dating people who are like in the public space? But I don't know if that's petty enough. I mean, I don't know if that's petty at all, because I don't know, maybe you'd prefer your privacy, but then at the same time also people who are in the public eye can also be extremely private and you would never know. So but I get that. Someone said, let me laugh, since I've been single for 3 years, but I refuse to date anyone who lives in a bed sitter. I really don't know what to say. I think is there really anything to say to that? That was just your personal choice, you know? But I'm imagining of the guy being like, how could you do this to me? Question mark.
How could you do this to me? Question mark.
You know, it is what it is. So yeah. Someone said he made a slapping sound when he ate his noodles. Personally, I do not like slapping sounds at all. I hate. Like, I used to think maybe I can tolerate, but I think of late I've realized I cannot stand that. Oh, I usually want to scream like a Peppa Pig. You know. Someone said they had locks and tattoos and were a weed head. My mother would have died. I totally understand, though. Again, kama unapenda mtu unampenda, but at the same time, you know, your mom and your auntie would have been like, so yeah, it is what it is. I think I've gone through majority of them. Thank you guys so much if you sent in your pettiest reasons or your excuses for refusing to date someone. But I think in general, when it comes to relationships, I saw a quote somewhere that said, I've actually put it on my laptop, and it says, we make relationships hard because we treat them like wish lists, and we lend far too much weight to checking boxes of attributes which either cannot be helped or might change any day. It's BS, and I'm pretty sure that we can all do a whole lot better by opening up our minds to find beauty and goodness beyond all of those preferences that we hide behind. And I couldn't agree more. I feel like sometimes we make relationships so difficult. Like, and I've seen the street somewhere where people say love should not be hard. I mean, fine, it has its ups and downs. Relationships should not feel like a freaking maths paper. You understand? There should be a lot of ups, you know, and that's okay. So when it comes to dating, fine, you have the people that you're attracted to and that you're not, and that's okay. But let's make sure that when it comes to our preferences, they do not exclude or exploit or fetishize people. You get? So it is what it is. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up. Give this video a like so that it can get to many more people. And again, we're on 0 to 10k subscribers, and I would really appreciate it if you could join part of the family. Plus, we know you want to be here, and I know you want to be here. So that's about it from me. Make sure also to check out the pineapple fizz cocktail that I made. It's actually going to be on my highlights on my Instagram. Again, I know some people of you don't follow me there, so my Instagram is at Stephanie Nyanga, and yeah, be sure to check me out. I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye. With the pop, wipe the pain away. Juicy and it's tighter than a virgin, like